Hi, I'm going to try and explain the first two rows as best as I can. So take your yarn, you want to make your slip stitch, which we are going to count as stitch number 1. Put that on my hook, and I'm going to mark it with a stitch marker just so it helps me a bit later on. And then we are going to do our chain 12, so we've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm also going to mark that with a stitch marker. Okay, so this is your foundation chain. You can see along the top it's got bumps and along the bottom it's got bumps. So if you look closer at one of the stitches, there's essentially like a loop on the top and a loop on the bottom as well. So what we're going to be doing is working into those loops along the top, do 4 stitches in the last stitch to turn it round, so that we then work across the bottom all the way to the other end, and then we can start working in the round. So let's work on row 2 on the pattern. So starting from the second chain on the hook, so the first one, so on the hook we've got this first stitch away, second stitch away. We want to go into that top bump, and we're going to start 9 single crochet across the top bumps. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just make sure your chain hasn't sort of twisted. Make sure it's nice and flat. 7, 8, 9. And this is where my last stitch on the row is, and this is why I've marked it, just to make it clear where I'm going. And what I want to do is place 4 single crochet all in this loop as a cluster. So got 1, 2, 3, 4. So as we can see, it's kind of pushed it round. We're going to turn, so tuck your stitch marker and the tail just behind, and you're going to now sort of turn the work round. And then in the next sort of loop, which is this one here, after the stitch marker, which is now in the back of the foundation chain, we're going to do another 9 single crochet across. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, So you've come to the end of the second single crochet of 9. Next, what you want to do, so this counts as our sort of first stitch, you want to go just behind it and try and find, there's like 2 strands here and there's like a loop, and you can kind of create a little hole here, and this is where I want to place my next 4 single crochet to sort of finish off the turn on the end to then join it back to that first stitch. And you want to make sure you keep your tension reasonably tight because you don't want lots of gaps, otherwise you'll see the stuffing. So in this hole I'm going to put 4 single crochet, all in the same hole. And then that brings us to the end of round 2, and then our next row we're going to be working into this marked stitch here, which will be row 3, and that starts with 10 single crochet. So then you would start working in a round, so you'd start working here, work all the way round, finish back at the stitch marker, and that counts as 1 row.